I mentioned I might do some analysis videos on some of my CI forages, and there seemed to be some interest from a couple of people. So this is a recording of me doing a 29 forage over a decent run. Um, so I'm going to just go through the video and try and go through my clicks and what's going through my head while I'm actually in the forage, try to replicate what I would be thinking, in hopes that people might learn more from it. Uh, yeah. So we immediately start off by foraging by clicking the exact same square until we can tile and spawn a piece. Here I was able to rotate the same stuff and immediately get a jar. With jars you always want to try and start off with two horizontal to bring it down, just in case more stuff can spawn across. And I'm not entirely sure, I think I'm looking here to set up the triple brown and then the triple reds to start an easy clear. Either way, I'm moving it down in very quick succession in order to potentially spawn more stuff. So it was immediate white into two triples to bring it down a fair amount, and I get a box that spawns because of it, which works out nicely. When I'm here, I can easily see that I've got a 4 clear of white, and then with a 3 horizontal of red and bringing green down, or even bringing a second green across, there are quite a few options here to set up a combination. There's my white, and now it's even clearer that there's a brown combo here, so as soon as I pop the brown that will clear and this falls down. But this is a lot easier to clear while it's grouped together. I've got two brown and a single brown here. So even though I've got this set up, I'm going to immediately move to save the box before it sets up, and at the same time I've sort of noticed that a jar is coming. It's not in a good spot to set up pre this drop, because what I could set up is for this jar to clear, and then if this one was far enough down, it would immediately spawn it, has a chance to spawn another jar on top. But yeah, so as soon as I set it up, I realized this would be an easy clear. I set it up. I unfortunately get a couple of horizontals with the green, but it's fine. It's just 3 points. Unfortunately, very fortunately, I move the jar down one and immediately get the box spawn on top. But it's pretty easy to. And then we go into the standard clear. So I've got the greens aligned on the side. I'm going to try and bring the green across, creating a 4, bring it down. And then I've got, a potential 3 with the white. And then I've got a couple other pieces. Like, I'm obviously collecting a few reds and a few other things. So I pop the green. I've immediately got the white closer, so I'll pop the white. And then that cascades. An ant spawns, which is my immediate priority. So I chuck it off the side of the board so as to get rid of it. Move the green to pop it. Rotating the red here is good. It immediately brings it down one. And then I've got enough green pieces to set up the clear. Cool. We immediately spawn in another CC. The ant here can just be ran directly into the chest. And then with chest, very similar to the other piece, we want to move them down one tile in order to get the most freebies to spawn on top with the potential jars. So I'll likely run the ant into the side and then rotate reds twice. This will move the jar down one, the box down one. And let me going. Cool. And then immediately moving, we can sort of, while it's safer to approach these top down, so rotating yellow once and then down, it's also it's very quick just to bring everything down. Like I can see if I pop the red, if I bring here to pop the red, I'll get a cascade off green, but I'm pretty safe based on the other pieces position, which means this will bring down by 3. And then I can line up these 3 whites to clear out the left side. I'll have yellow in the vicinity to pop out the center column, and then the reds will be an easy pop to clear as well. There's one. I create a 4 by accident, based off the horizontal moving one. But then I can move the green across and then bring it up to pop the side. Cool. And then as soon as the side's going, I've already got 2 yellow here and 1 here, which means I can easily set up something that's called a sandwich, which is just popping a clear in between, which will then cause this to cascade down. The fact that I won't have to stop and click and clear for the second clear increases the speed. So by quickly snaking up the reds here, I might just play that back again. So as soon as I pop the green, I start moving the reds up to immediately get the clear in the sandwich. Here I don't really have the quickest thing, but if I rotate the whites as I'm doing with the brown, I move all the green pieces down, which immediately puts me 3 right adjacent to the box, to the chest. Which means it's a very simple clear to clean up the end. As the chest spawns, we now look over, I've got a box on the field. The idea with boxes is just to clear them vertically as quick as possible. You don't really try and set them up. So simple 3 will bring it close, and then I've got enough pieces between the 3 reds and the 3 yellows to try and clear it if I want, but jars are more worth more points, so they're kind of better to go as long as the box isn't immediately endangering the board. If I look at the jar, and as I'm going to click here, I'm going to make the vertical break to try and then get a break in the second column in order to try and speed it up. But I don't really see anything. I've got, the whites and potential cascades, but what I do have is a very easy clear on the right side, so the left side. Move the white and then bring another white across to make a 5 clear, clearing out the column. And then I've got a couple of options. I can move the brown down and sort of clear out the brown, which brings a bunch of whites in this column to potentially clean up, which I suspect. Yeah, I just move a different brown, so I move it down and then move it across, which is probably probably more clicks overall, but it is still fine. As this falls down, there'll be plenty of whites here to clean up the piece. Yeah, I just make it 5 column, so I'll rotate this up and then rotate it across and safely clear a 5. This box makes this one awkward, so I'm very likely to clear out the closer one, because I've got an easy 2-click clear, which is 1 red, 1 yellow, and then it's on to the next box because that's our next spawn. If I click the green here, it brings it down, and then I've already got 2 reds lined up, so I can go green, red, and then fill it up. But here I make a mistake. By clearing a 4 there, I've left this one in an awkward spot. It's not too bad because you can set up a double horizontal by lining up the reds and lining up the whites, but I don't think I ended up doing that. Yeah, slightly inefficient because I make many more horizontals than I should need to actually clear that piece. And then the final box of the board, if there were any specials in the way or anything that would slow it down, I'd probably ditch it for a new board, because the box is only a single point, and I know there's never going to be anything else more. But it's relatively easy. We've got 3 yellows lined up. Oh, that we're lining up now. So 3 yellows line up to bring it down, and then I can bring red in to clear it. I might just go through again because that was a spot. Yeah, so the brown cascade is fine, nothing's ever going to come from it, but then setting up the yellow brings it down. We have a large clump of red, which means it's very easy to set up, and I've already moved the green into the middle column, which means that as this comes here, I can just make 2 clicks here, and then the red will pop, and the green will pop, and the box will clear. Immediately onto the next board, I try and spam click in a spot which won't make any cascades. It just means that the next pieces will start spawning quicker. Unfortunately, I immediately clicked and got one, which is a bad start, but after enough clicks, we'll end up starting to get the spawns. I don't remember what I do here. It's not the nicest of spots. You've got 2 reds to rotate, or you can do a lower clear. The clearing lower to begin with is more dangerous technically. It can lead to more cascades or other stuff. But I just start with a horizontal and move a ant to the wrong side. A slight time loss. Clearing out the box just with a 5 clear to try, because that was based on how far it was down, and that just meant there was less intermediate clicks. As soon as I'm going with it, I'm probably going to move over to the jar, is the worth most points, based on what's board. The yellow can move across into the column and then create another 5. I'm not really doing good practice here. Ideally, I'd try and get the jar down 3 in case it tries to, down 2 in case it can spawn another piece. But it is a very safe clear. So by rotating the yellows across, I'll pop the right side, meaning I won't really have any chance to get stuck there. And then I've got 3 reds which are lining up pretty closely. Bring it down. And then I've even got enough greens to go into another 5 clear. It's probably not the most efficient, but overall it was still pretty quick. And it meant that there were less follow-up clicks that I had to do for multiple breaks. Onto the next boxes. I've got 2 here, but this one is closer to where I was clicking, so like closer to where I was watching. And I've got very easy to click 3s. I started off with a horizontal, which is unfortunate, but we can follow it up. Yeah, so returning to the top to try and start it up. Trying to clear top down as most as possible. Even if it is a slight more clicks, it is safer. Even though starting up the yellow and bringing it down overall would probably be more efficient. I can immediately see that I'm moving the white across to set it up. This will bring the box down more. And then I've got enough yellow to look on a big clear. Yeah, so another 5. Oh, I got a cascade. And that's unfortunate. Base of the cascades is really no good way to follow it up if I step back. Yeah, it was a cascade here, which brought the yellows down, which cleared it. And doing the double clear here is very unfortunate because it just puts the box in an awkward position of being too high from the ground. Yeah, so a couple of unfortunate clears. But we make it less awkward by immediately clearing out the box. It leaves us in a situation where the jar is just near the base, and that's fine to deal with, even with the cascade clearing it. Once it gets into this position, I'm trying to look at the most efficient ways to set up a double color. Here I obviously go for the brown, which isn't actually the best, looking back at it, because I could very easily rotate red here and then rotate green. Move a green down to pop the green, and then the red just cascades and clears. However, I move the brown across. Oh no, I do actually take the green. Nice. I do it in a slightly less organized way, which means that I have to take an extra clear. Even if there would have been more clicks moving down the other side. The fact that this creates 2 instances of breaks, it breaks a red, then drops it down, and then breaks a green as I bring the next one across, is slower overall. There's just added times for the animation of the break, whereas as I'm immediately gonna, as soon as I clear the jar, I've got a very easy sandwich and cascade clear on the box here, because I can just rotate this once, get the or even rotate this once, get the 1 white and two whites at the base, and then clear a green. Which, yeah, so I rotate for the bottom, and the cascade brings it down in perfect spot. But if I just rotate this once, then we get the same thing again, where where the green clears, falls down, the white clears, the box clears. Which is just quicker because I don't have to stop to click the next one. I don't have to go through quite as many animations in order to actually get the clear. Then we look over, as I know this is cleared, we look over to the right side because box is the last thing that's on the board. There will be more spawning, but at the moment it's the last. And there are some decent colors. There's some red and some other stuff there that works. Yeah, so we immediately go for the red to bring it down. Shovel's there, but hopefully it won't come into play. It won't really block my mouse much. And a shovel spawns on top, so it's just a free point. Looking into the jar next, we've got a couple of things to rotate. Obviously, I've already moved myself over because that's the only other thing in spawn. So as soon as the box started spawning, I started clearing. I would have moved over. We have 1 brown triple click, 1 brown 3 clear, which will also clear the whites, which brings it down quickly, and hopefully it'll allow me to take a completely different option. What did I take? Yeah, in the end I just wanted to go for the white, which is bad overall, but alright. Move the white. I've already got the second jar, so I don't really need to set up. Although it'd be more efficient I if before I cleared this one, I moved this one down too in case a jar was ever gonna spawn. It just creates potentials for more points on board. That's way too far back. Alright, so clear to get here. And then we have an easy clear at the top. And the green here means it's more difficult to get a 5 clear down. But there's plenty of pieces here that means it's pretty nice. As soon as we get the horizontal, we get it 4 above, it's fine. We've got a very easy 4 with whites on either side. I think I take the left with a rotate on bottom and then a rotate on top. Brings the red down. Rotating this twice and then moving a red across is pretty quick to clear. And as soon as this clears, I'll focus on this one. Like I said, it would have been better if I could try and move it down, but it's in an odd spot. And better only in the fact that once this clears, it's going to spawn more pieces. If this jar was already down, like if the jar was on these 4 squares, that jar could potentially spawn on top, which would just be 3 points. And it doesn't. So I line up the pieces on the side before clicking the shovel. It's just, I'm trying to find a way to, I have to click the shovel to clear the space, which obviously creates dead space here. But we end up getting in a situation where I don't want any potential chance of this to stick. So by moving the whites across into the outer column, I line them up as I had plans to use them. And we can see with the whites here, I can very easily make like a 5 clear or something to clear it out. So by, 2 clicks to move the white across and then a click to clear the white, we end up being left with 3 high and plenty of brown to clear it up. And then I've even got 4 green here to sort of play with. So, yeah. So I'll immediately click this just because that's why my mouse is already thinking. But if I move this one down, then it just increases the speed of the clears because it will be more joint actions. But this is fine. Like I said, we move the white down plenty to make it easy to clear, and then 1 click here is a double clear, and then 1 click on the green clears it. And then we're left with a jar. Chest. We immediately want to start the chest again by bringing it down 1. The shade to the left is fine. That said, we are on the final banana, which means there'll be no other pieces spawning for this board, and we are running out of time. The round's almost over. So we start. Since it's a chest in the middle, it's really safe no matter how we choose to clear it. So we've got freedom of just being able to do big clears more than anything. If it was slightly further left or slightly further right, we'd be forced to try and clear outwards to in. Simply just because it's safer, but here it doesn't really matter. We had the 4 reds in the column, which makes it easy. If we rotate, and then here I'm immediately moving to rotate the yellow to the left to make a 4 to the right, and then bringing these ones to the left to create a 4 clear. Just helps clear it up. And then we've got an easy brown, which is we bring one across and we rotate it. No, go for white instead. Yeah. Oh, same sort. We clear the left with a 3, and then we just happen to get a nice cascade. Yeah, Alright, so 4 and 4. Moving 3 to bring it down, but we're also in a fortunate position that we have 3 whites, 3 reds, and then 4 browns. Which just means 1 click here, 1 click there, and then 1 click to the right clears it as we sort of just shuffle all the pieces together for a nice end clear. Yeah. It ended up being 20 minutes. I might cut it down a little bit. That was a little bit of me being unsure of what I was saying, but overall it was a pretty decent forage. 29 is a solid score for sure, even if it's not the greatest. And hopefully this video is helpful to other people.